Most people think moving abroad is difficult because of money, education, or passport power. But the real reason thousands of people fail every year is much more painful than that. They choose the wrong country and end up moving alone, while their wife, children, or parents are left behind for years. Imagine finally getting a visa, starting a new job in a new country, but every night you sleep alone, your kids grow up on video calls, and family life slowly breaks apart. This is the hidden problem no agent talks about. Many countries happily take your labor, your skills, your taxes, but when it comes to bringing your family, suddenly the rules become complicated, income requirements become unrealistic, and the waiting time stretches from months into years. People don't plan to separate their families, it just happens because they were never told the truth at the beginning. That's exactly why this video is important. If your goal is not just to earn money abroad but to build a stable life with your family, then choosing the right country is everything. In this video, I'm not going to waste your time with boring statistics or tourist facts. Instead, I'll show you 8 countries that actually value family unity. Countries where the system is designed to let you live together, not apart. These are places where spouses can work legally, children can go to school without stress, and families can settle without fear of sudden rejection or endless delays. Whether you're a worker, a student, or planning long-term settlement, this video will help you avoid the biggest mistake people make when moving abroad. Watch till the end, because some of these countries are much easier than you think, and one wrong choice today can cost you years away from the people who matter most. Portugal. Many people want Europe, but their biggest fear is this: if I move, will my family suffer? Portugal quietly solves this problem. Once you are legally living and working in Portugal, the country allows family reunification without making the process scary or impossible. The real relief comes when your spouse is allowed to work legally instead of sitting at home dependent on one income. Children can access public education, and healthcare is affordable, which removes a huge mental burden for parents. Portugal understands that people perform better when their families are stable. That's why the system is designed to bring families together, not keep them apart. For people who want a calm lifestyle, lower stress, and a future inside Europe, Portugal becomes more than just a destination. It becomes a safe base where families can slowly grow and settle without constant visa fear. New Zealand. One of the biggest problems workers face is moving abroad and realizing too late that their family is treated like an afterthought. New Zealand does the opposite. When you move on a work visa, the system already considers your partner and children as part of your life, not an extra burden. Spouses are often allowed to work, which immediately reduces financial pressure and gives dignity to both partners. Children are integrated into the education system smoothly, helping them adapt faster. New Zealand's approach is simple. If you contribute to the country, your family deserves stability too. This mindset makes a huge emotional difference. Instead of worrying about separation or future rejection, families can focus on building a new life together. That's why New Zealand is trusted by people who don't want shortcuts, but want long-term peace and security for their loved ones. Germany. Germany attracts workers from all over the world, but what many don't realize is how strongly it supports family reunification once you're legally employed. The biggest problem in Europe is fear of strict rules, and Germany looks intimidating from the outside. But in reality, once you meet basic requirements, your family has a clear and lawful path to join you. Spouses don't need to be locked at home. They can integrate, learn, and eventually work. Children benefit from one of the strongest education systems in Europe. Germany believes stability creates productivity, and productivity strengthens the country. This is why family unity is protected under law, not treated as a favor. For people planning long-term settlement, permanent residency, and a secure future for their children, Germany becomes a country where sacrifice turns into structure and effort turns into stability. Canada is often called a land of opportunity, but what truly sets it apart is how seriously it takes family life. The problem many immigrants face elsewhere is uncertainty. not knowing if or when their family will be allowed to join them. Canada removes much of that stress by offering clear family pathways alongside work and study visas. Spouses can work, children can attend public schools, and families are encouraged to settle, not just temporarily stay. Canada understands that immigrants don't just bring labor, they bring families, culture, and long-term contribution. This approach builds trust. Instead of feeling like outsiders, families feel welcomed into the system. That's why Canada is not just popular, but respected. For those who want permanent settlement, citizenship, and a future where children grow up with opportunities, Canada remains one of the strongest and safest choices. Australia. Australia attracts people with jobs and skills, but it also recognizes that no one can build a future alone. One of the biggest fears migrants have is spending years separated from their family while trying to prove themselves. Australia reduces that fear by allowing dependents on many work visas from the beginning. Spouses are not treated as liabilities. They are allowed to work and integrate into society. Children can study, adapt, and feel settled instead of constantly moving. Australia's system rewards people who follow rules and contribute honestly. Over time, this leads to permanent options and long-term security. The environment, healthcare, and education system add another layer of comfort for families. For people who want growth, stability, and a clear system without hidden traps, Australia offers a realistic path to build a life together, not apart. Spain often gets overlooked, but for families, it quietly solves many problems that other European countries create. The biggest issue migrants face is high income requirements that delay family reunification. Spain's system is comparatively more flexible and realistic. Once you're legally residing, you can apply to bring your family without extreme financial pressure. Children benefit from public education, and the family-oriented culture makes integration easier. Spain understands that family support leads to emotional health, which leads to productivity. Life moves slower, stress is lower, and people feel human again. This is especially important for families who don't want a robotic, overpressured lifestyle. Spain may not shout about opportunity, but it offers something equally valuable: balance. For those who want Europe with warmth, community, and family-friendly policies, Spain becomes a surprisingly strong option. United Arab Emirates. Many people think the Middle East is only about work, not family life, but the UAE proves that assumption wrong. One of its biggest strengths is speed. Once you have a valid job and income, sponsoring your family is straightforward and fast. Wives, children, and even parents can join under clear rules. There's no long waiting period filled with uncertainty. Schools, healthcare, and safety standards are high, which gives families peace of mind. The tax-free income also reduces financial stress, allowing people to support their families better. The UAE understands that workers stay longer and perform better when their families are with them. For people who want stability, safety, and immediate family reunion without complicated immigration drama, the UAE offers one of the simplest and most practical solutions. Sweden stands out because it treats family unity as a right, not a privilege. The biggest problem in many countries is proving your worth before your family matters. Sweden flips this idea. If you are legally residing and working, your family is considered part of your life from the start. Spouses can work, children have access to strong education and health care, and families are supported through social systems. Sweden believes that integration starts at home. When families feel secure, they integrate better into society. This long-term thinking is what makes Sweden special. Life may not be flashy, but it is stable, respectful, and structured. For people who value security, equality, and a peaceful future for their children, Sweden offers something rare: a system that genuinely understands the importance of keeping families together. Moving abroad is not just about changing a country, it's about changing a future. Anyone can go alone, struggle alone, and survive somehow. But real success abroad is when your family grows with you, not away from you. The countries we discussed today are not perfect, but they understand one simple truth. When families stay together, people build better lives. The biggest mistake you can make is choosing a country only because it sounds popular, without thinking about how your wife, children, or parents will live there. One wrong decision can cost you years of separation, stress, and regret. So think carefully, plan smartly, and always choose a place that respects family unity. If this video helped you see things differently, like it, share it with someone planning to move abroad, and subscribe for honest guidance. And tell me in the comments, which country would you choose for your family's future?